please tell me and those watching about yourself and what you do.
Sure. My name is Rish Lotlekar. I'm the co-founder of Superworld. Superworld is a social augmented reality platform that's on the blockchain.
Great. And how did you find out about this event, and why did you come?
I really came because I understood that, NFTs are really, a very interesting class on the blockchain, and we're doing an NFT product at Superworld, selling digital real estate. So I wanted to come here and meet other partners and investors and others in the community that could really help us kind of, further develop what we're building as a product and meet others that are doing the same.
That's great. And how's this met expectations? Like, you must have come here with hope, expectation, what today would be. What's the experience been like for you?
Yeah, it's been great because I think this is the epicenter of this field right now, and you meet a lot of the people that are innovating in the NFT space, and so for me it's been very educational, very inspirational. Get to share a lot of stories and learn from each other, and we're raising capital right now as well, so opportunity to meet investors that we can talk to, so it's been good.
That's great.
Yeah.
And December 31st, 2019, so the end of this year, what do you want to accomplish? What would make this a successful year for you and your company?
Sure. So, we're selling digital land in Superworld. So, users can buy digital plots of land and therefore share in any augmented reality advertising or transactions that happen in the land that they buy. We're seeing really good user activity. So, all of Times Square is already sold. So where we're standing has already been bought by someone. Lots of Austin and LA and London and Hong Kong is being bought up. So what we'd like to do is sell more of the world and get the word out that superworldapp.com is where you can go and buy digital land. And we're creating a monopoly in the real world. So you can buy and sell that land. And it's all linked to our ad network. So what we'd like to do at the end of this year, by the end of this year, is sell a lot more land and get more people on the platform.
Great. What question would you have liked me to ask that I haven't asked that you wanted to answer?
Sure. So, I think that what I'd like to tell you is, what the vision behind Superworld is. So what we'd like to do is, create a world that is very personalized to any person that's on the platform. So basically, you're creating a world that I can experience. I could walk around New York and see things that you've left for me. I can also enter brands, so I can see Nike's world, or Ford Motor Cars world, or any world for that matter. And so there's an opportunity in augmented reality and the use of an NFT on the blockchain to bring all those things together. So now you can actually own parts of that world, and it's all decentralized. So that's the beauty of it.
That's awesome. Tonight, I'm speaking about NFT 2024. It's kind of the final, keynote. And one reason I set this room up, and one reason why I interviewed a bunch of people before the event, made all those videos, was to find out from the VIPs, the speakers, and all of your peers, like, what do you envision 5 years from now? And then kind of collect all that information and try to deliver it in a very concise way that will inspire those that are involved in the industry. So NFT 2024, what are you hoping for? What are you building toward? What are you predicting in the next 5 years?
This is a very interesting class on the blockchain of products, and I think NFTs are going to become very mainstream. And like any digital collectible and any collectible before that in the more traditional sense, I think that as more adoption takes place, as they enter the mainstream, I think the word NFT might even become more normal in our vernacular. So it would just be like I own the digital land, and you don't even have to define it in a technical way as we do now, because it will become so mainstream and so understood that it becomes part of every conference, everything. So I think that's kind of where we're going. And with Superworld specifically, we're kind of integrating all of those elements. So it's not just land, but we want to be able to incorporate other digital products into Superworld and things in the future.
Okay.
So
the last thing I'll do is I'll take you back 1,000 years to take you forward. and really try to get into a legacy mindset. So here's how I'll frame it. 1,000 years ago, or as many millennia as you want to go back, the great leaders of the world, let's say the innovators, right? The kings, the artists, the emperors, but let's stick with kings. They want to build a castle. So a man with a tremendous amount of responsibility, massive tribe, a region that they oversee, says, we're going to build this new castle. Now that castle might take several hundred years to build. That means that leader is committing not only him and his kingdom, but kingdoms after kingdoms after kingdoms that will follow him, that will build a castle that one day some people will enjoy, his descendants that he'll never meet. Today, I think people are in a rush. I don't think people are very patient. I think people are also kind of focused on what's in it for them and not necessarily what's in it for their descendants or, the generations to come and humanity far off. So my question for you is legacy. Like, what would you be willing to face adversity for and invest money in and your life and your time and overcome hardship, even if you never see the fruit of it, but it's a worthy pursuit for your career and your time?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how we feel about what we're building at Superworld. Is again, we're wanting to build a world that and everyone can enjoy in their own personal understanding of what that is. And we're very committed to that mission because, I think the opportunities utilizing XR, AR, VR, MR, all these new technologies around us on top of blockchain. Can give us that flexibility to, have that, utopia or whatever we imagine that we want to create, whether it's education, whether it's, entertainment, whether it's lifestyle kinds of things, anything you want. And so that is something that we're committed to because I think that is something that will last for a long time and everyone can enjoy regardless of where you live in the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad that you did. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to roll to a 1-minute video and then come back with another interview. We really appreciate your attention. We'll be right back. I am very excited to speak with you. Sandbox, my kids, I have 6 and 10-year-old. They are very committed to Minecraft. I asked my 10-year-old, hey, what would you sell your Minecraft account for? Nothing. Like, how about $10,000? Absolutely not. You wouldn't sell your start over. You can start over again fresh. Like, never. I've invested my whole everything I remember was in that. So I think it's very interesting, and I'm excited for you to kind of share your pursuit of an alternative to this type of environment that's been created for young people to become master architects and so much more around innovation. So thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate your attention, and I hope that you are inspired by this brief fireside chat. So please introduce yourself and your company. I can hold it for you.
All right, okay. So hi, my name is Sebastien. I'm CEO and co-founder of Pixel. We're the maker of the Sandbox, which is an existing mobile games where you can make 2D virtual worlds. And we're taking this franchise to the blockchain as a 3D multiplayer game. Essentially, it's a decentralized gaming platform where creators can monetize their voxel assets and gaming experience on the blockchain. So we're disrupting what Minecraft and Roblox have established in the space of user-generated content by providing to creators for the very first time the benefits of truly owning their creation, which is something I believe really important when you're making something to be able to do whatever you want and take it out of the platform if you want, or allow others to interact with it. And fully monetize using cryptocurrency, your skills and your time, trading it and selling it on marketplaces.
That's great. December 31st, 2019, 10 months from now, what thing or things do you and your team want to accomplish this year that says, if by the end of the year we accomplish this, it really was a very successful year for us. This is our pursuit and our goal.
So already we've launched, our ecosystem has three main components. One is an NFT builder, the second is a marketplace, and the third one is a game maker. Last December, we've launched the voxel editor at voxedit.io. It's been already having great success with the 5,000 downloads, 65 artists who are creating thousands of models, voxel animated, so it's already a great achievement, and the community keeps growing. Our goal is to have over 1,000 artists and 10,000 models. Later in Q2, we'll be releasing the marketplace, which will allow to tokenize your voxel creation, put them on the blockchain for allowing them to be traded and collected as ERC-721 or ERC-1155. And by the end of this year, our main goal is to release the game maker itself, where we'll allow game creators to utilize those assets made with VoxEdit, put them on a map, play with their avatar, and create all sorts of gaming experience, which could be a battle royale game, an arcade game, racing, you name it. Awesome. Like really offering all unlimited possibilities to creator with the assets they make in this, I would say, like virtual world where you can bring creators and players together through a social experience as well.
That's great. So how did you find out about this event, and why did you come?
I've been myself speaking and evangelizing about non-fungible tokens in gaming and the benefits, more specifically for user-generated content. We have over 7 years of experience in the realm of UGC. And since last year, I spoke at, I think, 10 different gaming events related to blockchain NFT. So NFT.NYC, we couldn't miss it. It's the first dedicated event of the year for non-fungible tokens. I really applied early on as a speaker, and I'm glad to be here today and see so much excitement around non-fungible in gaming, but beyond. 10 years from now, I really hope that despite the technical aspect and the wording of NFTs, it be just a mainstream adopted concept to own and be able to trade your item and utilize them cross-chain, cross-platform, cross-games without even having to think about this is blockchain, this is technical, I don't understand. We're working to bring non-crypto users like 3D artists, like creators in Roblox or Minecraft to enjoy the benefits of it and use it without even thinking about the underlying technology. And well, it has to start somewhere, and this somewhere and when is now.
That's great. What do you want to see happen with events like this in a season, in a year, like NFT 2020, right? What do you want? Like, do you want to see just like this? Do you want to see additions, subtractions, things morphed? Like, how do you want to see these types of events develop over time?
I think right now the conference, even though it's one of the largest with 400 participants, 85 speakers, it's quite intimate and only a B2B event where people are developer or making infrastructure. The next stage is how does it become a B2C event? Imagine like Minecon or a conference that players go to and they start trading their items, game items, digital, of course, which would mean that we have achieved a goal, this goal of making it mainstream, and it will not just be a smaller niche of people who are aware and embracing this movement, but really be mainstream. Your kids could go to that event.
That's right.
It would be a great dream.
That's right. We should talk about how to make that happen.
Well, we'll be happy to grant them access to an alpha release, start creating, and see like.
That's what that's what I was waiting for right there. Alpha release for my Duke of Destiny, my Prince of Purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's what my kids are. So now you got me all fired up. I'm excited.
Me too. Thank you.
We're both excited about this.
Of course, we should be excited.
It's probably as animated as I've gotten today. I've been trying to keep my energy normal.
Check out sandbox.game, boxed.io. You can download it already, start creating, and tokenize your creations.
I love it. I almost want to mic drop. Let me ask you one more question.
Sure.
I'm speaking tonight, NFT 2024. 5-year predictions, that's kind of the final keynote. And it's the reason why I built this station was to ask you and your peers, all the VIPs and speakers that I could, as well as make all the promo videos beforehand. Those were all basically interviews, right, I did. And it's to find out, what do you think about this industry in 5 years? What are you building toward? What are you hopeful for? What do you predict? Because I'm trying to absorb from you so I can share that tonight.
Share.
That's right.
I think you're totally right. The meaning of right now, the industry, I feel, is still in a position where it's very everyone is helping each other, sharing a lot, since it's not competitive as other industry could be when it's still in this early stage of adoption, and that's a great thing because who knows, like we can be together soon. We are building together toward the same goal. By 2024, in 5 years, I don't know. We hope that the market will be more aware and already using this, again, without knowing it's even the technology and without having to think about this speculative aspect that's been driving a lot of the crypto industry, but more in the utility of gaming, so traditional gamers. And more specifically to the sandbox, we'll be happy to have 1,000 of gaming experience live and having players and creators enjoying making revenue and maybe a living out of those games, and turning this passion into something bigger for them. Moving from single development team to probably studios starting to build games. So that's hopefully the long-term vision by 5-10 years.
Yeah, I love that. One last question, and I'm going to take you back a thousand years. I know. I know. This is real. This is really it. But I mean, you got me all excited. So I'm going to take this one. So, thousands of years ago, leaders. So whether they're artists, kings, innovators, emperors, but the people that were real leaders, they would have a vision and they would build for things that they would never see. Right? Like if a king builds a castle, that might take several hundred years. That means he's committing his kingdom and all the iterations of the kingdoms for generation after generation. He'll never see it. His grandkids will never see it, but he still goes through the hardship, overcomes adversity, makes the investment of money and the time and his people to build something for the future. Mm-hmm. Today, I feel like people in tech are very impatient. It's my biggest concern with the tech world. And because of that, I want to ask you about legacy. What castle are you building? What castle do you want to build with your career and with your time?
I totally agree with the fact that in the tech space, people tend to be impatient. Like it takes time to create high-quality games with teams and to put all the different stones and pillars for the foundation of this future. And so the investors in the space seems to be missing the point that they need also to trust teams like ours to build that vision for 10 years or more, which could be thousands of years if you put it on the scale of the digital tech space. Still, I think the legacy we want to put in place is we've had already millions of creators making something like 70 million words on Sandbox for the past 10 years. And I'm looking forward to have like 100 million of creation that will exist forever on the blockchain and make it be also interoperable. So eventually it's just the beginning of something bigger that I cannot envision yet, but other developers will appropriate and create even more interesting things into this virtual world. Yeah. So in a way, like the biggest, most ambitious project are sometimes they go beyond what the original founders could imagine. And we're community-based, so I want to see the community appropriate what we are building and create on top of it.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in. We're going to go to a quick video and come right back with another interview.